My story took place a few years back when I was still employed as a pilot. It had always been my dream, for as long as I can remember, to one day fly passenger airlines for a living. I have no idea why, because it was basically like being a bus driver, only much, much higher off the ground. I was in command of an Airbus A380, and it was a routine transatlantic flight from Budapest destined for Chicago. We were cruising at an altitude of 33,000 feet, and we were making good time because of the exceptional tailwind. I estimated that we'd arrive at our destination in approximately 5 hours, so I knew I'd have plenty of time to teach my co-pilot how to make the most incredible cocktails. I taught him how to make a cosmopolitan that would blow your head off, but his mojito still needed some work. Everything was going well until my co-pilot started spewing some nonsense about Airbus A380s not being capable of performing a loop. His naivety saddened and disappointed me. I had no idea he was this much of a pathetic loser. I needed to show this rookie to think for himself, instead of believing everything he read in some silly safety manual. It may have been the innumerable cocktails we'd consumed, or my blatant disregard for the safety and well-being of others, but I was certain I could pull it off. I would flawlessly pull off a perfect loop and demonstrate to my co-pilot the importance of critical thinking. Heck, I was even planning on throwing in a barrel roll for good measure, and was sure that all 525 passengers would applaud my supreme aerobatic skills in unison. Tragically, as fate would have it, things didn't go the way I would have preferred them to. I had adjusted my angle of attack by pulling hard back on the controls, and felt satisfied that I'd given us the best possible chance to complete the loop. But I had, unfortunately, forgotten to clear away the makeshift bar I had set up on the cockpit's dashboard. The liquor bottles came crashing down and smashed all over the controls, frying all the circuits and starting a fire. I was left with no other option but to abort my loop attempt until we got the flames under control. In a valiant effort to eliminate the fire, I discharged a CO2 extinguisher, but I lost my grip, and it swung violently, hitting my co-pilot on the head. He was knocked out cold, but at least the fire was out. We were losing altitude at an alarming rate, and warning buzzers were going off all around me. I did everything in my power to avoid having to ditch the plane in the ocean, but I guess you can't win them all. After struggling with the controls for what felt like an eternity, we splashed down hard in the middle of the ocean with the plane still intact. By some miracle, no one was seriously injured, but there was definitely going to be a lot of therapy needed for all of the passengers and crew. A few hours later, the Coast Guards arrived, and we were rescued. It didn't take the authorities long to point their fingers at me. Typical, I was brought before a tribunal, and it would probably come as no surprise to you that I was found guilty, lost my job, and had my pilot's license revoked. I still believe I could have successfully pulled off that loop, but I guess now we'll never know. I hope my story will encourage more people to believe in themselves, because you can do anything if you put your mind to it. Also, never let a boring naysayer rookie co-pilot tell you otherwise.